everybody. We're headed out to the bush. But to do that, we had to go down the big road. And of course, we have to stop. I'm amazed that we've got 4 ATMs right in a row. Ladies are going to be out. We're going to go get a coffee. And then we'll be on our way.
A couple of hours heading up the 4-lane, and then we got off on the more secondary roads up into the mountainous area here. And as we're going along, as we're in the mountains, we come onto these little vendors selling local crafts and what have you, and this tunnel through the mountain. These mountains were literally huge, and as we get out of the tunnel here, as you look off into the distance, you can see here momentarily, you'll see the river down there, and then there's a big village down there as well. So we continued up into the Kruger National Park and had to make another stop, and kind of tongue-in-cheek in it.
Here we are in Street, up in the mountains, and as you can see, it's pretty remote here. We're having a tough time getting around in the bush. It's nearly out of control, but we're doing our best to handle it. We got the girls in there. They're at the watering hole, the pick and pay. Good times going to be had by all. Here we are. We got the magic African root right here. It's only going to take a few minutes for it to dry, and then we're going to smoke it. Okay,
obviously, we didn't smoke it. That was a gift for Paula.
I'm filming.
JJ's wife.
This is going to be, as you can see, we're in the heart of the jungle here, and there are wild animals everywhere. I certainly don't know how we're going to survive without a high-powered rifle, but be that as it may, we're heading out into the we're heading out into the parking area. I guess that's where it's wild. I don't know, but I'm running back up so that we don't get arrested for stealing this cart. Oh, look at this primo parking he came up with. Totally awesome. All right, kids. This is it for now. We'll be back soon. All right, kids, here we are. We are now going out into the wilds of the jungle to secure some hook-off beer. And we've got Carling Black Label. Oh my God, look at it. It's like a blast from the past. Liz says no Black Label. Here we are, rocking it down the big road, farther out into the bush, playing Born Slippy loud.
Okay, so I had been making fun of us going out into the bush, and the next thing I knew, Shawn turned off of the big road, and we literally were headed out. This is a runway right here to our right. We had originally intended to fly up here, and as plans can be made up changeable, we ended up driving, and I'm glad we did, because we got to see. Here's an airplane sitting right in the hangar here, adjacent to the runway. That was kind of neat. This resort here is JJ and Paula actually are the proprietors here, and I can't pronounce the name. Perhaps you'd be better than that, but you know you're going into the right place when you got a guard shack with a uniformed guard dressed all in camo. You can feel safe behind the gate that way. But as we were driving up through, it was really quite amazing. We saw baboons running across the road, a whole troop of monkeys laying in the shade right beside the road under a tree, just hanging out. This is inside the gate. Now these are little chateaus, and they're all managed by J.J. and Paula, and some of them are privately owned, but the folks don't live here all the time. They're like a timeshare. And beautiful property. Oh my God. To your right is the river, and then back from the river are the chateaus, and then to the left of the road here is literally part of the Kruger National Park. We saw springbucks and all manner of wild game up here on this trip coming up. We were riding down the road, and they have it fenced against the big road, and there was a whole herd of giraffes just standing there munching on the trees next to the road. It was really quite amazing. But in any case, we're traveling down into the little development here, and right straight ahead of us, that brick building is the bathhouse, and that's where the pool is. And as we turn, we turn and turn to the right again, and we go up the driveway of J.J. and Paula. Again, they manage the place. This would be their private residence. And I was totally awestruck at the beauty of this building. It's just amazing. I mean, the gardens, Paula does a fantastic job on them. And they had their little dachshund pup there. And Biff the Wonder Cat guarding the front door, so I felt pretty safe. That was and they were right there to greet us. Very, very nice people. And we'll get a look at the inside here momentarily.
Well, everybody, here we are with JJ. Pleased to meet you, sir. Thanks for the invitation. Thanks for the... Those are the mountains we drove through. Look at them. That is just a beautiful view beyond.
You can see the mountains just past the horizon.
This is quite a place here.
This is the deck, the veranda off of the main living room. And the ceilings are 30 foot high. I mean, this is, look at the inside here. It's all beautiful stone and tile work. Very well done. Excuse me. And there's our little dachshund dog.
Girl Liz shooting the shot for the Book of Faces.
And of course,
panoramic view. All right, we gotta do some business here. Or have some beverage.
yeah, so we get signed in, and they took us down to unit number 10.
And let me show you why.
And just a little tour of the interior of the building. This is where we were staying while up here at Kruger. And as you can see, we're truly roughing it here. I mean, it's got the loft overhead, 2 bedrooms downstairs, full kitchen, and master suite looks out onto the river.
Master suite with a view of the river.
And of course we got our common area, and we've got all of the niceties we all get used to as Americans.
Patio.
And that's the river. It's very muddy. It's been raining.
Where the hippos are.
But a beautiful place.
All right, kids. Here we are on the bridge. There's the river. We're going to ride it down. We're going to ride down the river. Uh-oh. Liz says we got to go across the street.
There's a big sign there that said
traffic.
bees.
Beware, bees.
They had me going. They told me we were going to ride the rapids down. And I was kind of scared of that because Liz and her sister Mary took me up on the.
We're going looking for hippos later.
Liz took me up on the Moose River and tried to drown me.
They've had some good rains here, and the water's falling right over the river, right over the spillway of the dam.
That was a nice scenic overlook right there where we stopped on the way up to
Liz doing a
the
little
boat ride.
Facebook Live stuff there. We
can't do Facebook Live. We don't have any Wi-Fi. We'll post it later. Right, you walk down this path, which is steeper than a cow's face, and then here we go down to the river. Down to the river we have to go. Oh boy, more later. All right, kids, here we go down to the boat to near certain death. But it wasn't until I got down to the boat that I realized that the boat ride was above the dam, so it's all nice smooth water. So the bears don't get them? Oh, the baboons, yeah. They have to lock the covers on the trash cans so the baboons don't get into them and spew the trash all over looking for food. But this water was crystal clear. I mean, you can see right to the bottom. Hard to tell on the video, but we need a dock like this. We need a dock like this at Lake Elizabeth Ann. And this boat was really a pretty big party barge. You're going to get wet if you sit up there. I'm going to sit back. Okay, our safety briefing. I heard they like fat men. Yeah, the guys up on the wharf were picking on me, telling me that the hippos would eat me. So this is a crocodile right here in front of the boat, and the girls got some nice pictures of them. And then they're taking us out on the reservoir here, and we headed up to where you could actually see where the water was going over the dam, and then he took us up into a spot where one of the feeder streams was. And as we were going along, we came up onto these rock formations, and of course you could see the mountains in the distance. And right here in front of us, there was a baboon up in the tree here, picking the fruit or the nuts or whatever those kind of trees they were. They were feeding up in there. It's impossible to see him in the video, but he was right there in the circle. There's like a little dark spot there and that's where he was feeding. This rock, the rock was a lizard that was laying on top of there getting warm. And this right here, right where the circle was, you can, if you look real close, you can see little brown bumps sticking up out of the water. That's a herd of hippopotamuses there in the water right there. We didn't get too close to them because the hippos kill more people in Africa than lions do. I didn't know that. That was an interesting fact. But this off to your left is where one of the rivers comes in that feeds this reservoir. And right there to the left of the canopy, you can see that formation on the rock. From a distance, that looks like a gorilla's face.
Look at the waterfall.
And then, of course, there was a waterfall there, and the cavern cave up on the hill to the left in the left corner there. And this tree, I didn't notice it until we got right side of it, but there were nests and big black birds. They look, if they'd have been any bigger, I'd have thought they were eagles, but they were, it's hard to see in the video because it's a little dark right there, but there was 3 or 4 nests there, and they all had birds on them sitting there. I'm sure they were hatching stuff out, but took us down here to the waterfall, and one of the waterfalls in this formation is the second highest waterfall on the African continent. So real interesting stuff our tour guide gave us as we were going along, and of course here we are working our way back to the dock, and it was really a pretty smooth ride after they were all picking on me about us having to run the rapids, and I said, well, I really don't want to get wet if I don't have to, and they were having a hoot with that. So, but in any case, back to the dock here, safe and sound, and heading back to the resort there for supper, and kids, here we are.
car
little
back
sleep.
to the dock, safe and sound. Didn't even try to kill me this time.
Look at JJ laughing his fanny off. That was cute.